welcome back to the Spider's Web, and in this video we're going to be painting this Jack from Dreadball. And we're starting off with Spaceship Exterior, and as you may remember from the last video we went through all of the paints then, and I'm not showing the palette. I didn't show the palette in the first one, and I'm not going to be showing it through any of them because, as explained, I'm not mixing anything on the palette, so you're not going to see anything apart from me putting paint down and picking it up. So I might as well not show the palette and just focus on the painting. So this Spaceship Exterior is going on everywhere, pretty much. I'm basically putting this on really where I want the armour to be. But I'm not really too fussed about getting it anywhere else because later on I will be going over the parts that aren't armour with a darker colour, as you may remember from the first video. So it doesn't matter if I get this colour on that colour because it will be able to go over it later on and cover it fairly well. But yeah, I want this on. I want to make sure all of this white is on the armour because that is going to be the white parts. I also want to make sure it goes over the areas that are going to be red because that will give the red a brighter background and make it look a lot brighter rather than having it on a dull background and it not covering properly as well as looking a bit wishy-washy and washed out. Now since I recorded this video, I've had a message from Jay who suggested a name for my team. Now in the first video I did say that I'm doing this as a sort of like a nod towards the town where I grew up, which is St Helens, and that's the town where I was born and bred, and the rugby team is all white with a red V on the front of the top, and that's why I'm doing it the way that I'm doing these. But he also asked if anybody had any suggestions for a name. Now I wanted St Helens to be the first name of the team, so it's the St Helens something or other, but the spelling of St Helens was slightly different. It's C-Y-N-T-E-L-E, hang on, where am I? C-Y-N-T-E-L-I-N-S. I got myself all confused then. So I've had a think and I thought of Crusaders, the St Helens Crusaders, but as I said, Jay sent me a message and he suggested the Crushers, the St Helens Crushers. I do like that one. But what do you think? Do you think the St Helens Crusaders or the St Helens Crushers, or have you got your own name you'd like to suggest? Perhaps the St Helens Cardinals, which would fit in with my religious background as well. But you know, well, there's three options there. I just thought of Cardinals. So let us know which one you prefer, or if you have a suggestion of your own, please make it in the comments. Love to hear from you. And I'll put the name in the description bar so I can get the spelling right, because my head's not working, so as usual, so I probably didn't get the name right or the spelling right anyway, because I haven't got a pen and paper in front of me, so I can't really spell it out write it out and read it off. I really do come into these very unprepared, don't I? Oh well, never mind. So yeah, we're going through this white paint quite quickly now. Most of the areas that we want doing are covered in the white. Now we'll also be going over these again, just to make sure they have a really good solid coat to them. I don't particularly want them looking splotchy. I want a nice solid coat of this white underneath the paint that I'm going to be putting on, because I want it to look nice and clean. Now as well as the suggestion for the name of the team, I also got a suggestion from Jay, that matte varnish might be a good idea to mix in with the paint. Now, would anybody recommend that area, or would like an airbrush thinner work better or the same way, or does anybody else have any suggestions? I'm eager to learn on this, because I don't tend to paint with a lot of white and it ends up looking chalky, and I don't particularly like it, so I'm looking for something that makes it a rather smooth colour. And if I can get something, fair enough. If not, then I'll keep going. But the thing is, I've got 4 videos done, sort of like recorded, before I got these messages, so I'm just starting editing and doing the voiceover for them. Rough iron is the one we're using next. Sorry, I just realised that I'd stopped. Yeah, so I've got these 4 videos ready to do, so they've all been painted before I got the suggestion. So I'm just curious as to whether or not a matte varnish would work. As I say, Jay recommended it, so I'm going to give it a try, but I'll have to get some matte varnish first of all, because I'm all out. All I've got is a rattle can of matte varnish, and I don't have much of that left. So I'll have to get some brush on matte varnish and see if I can see if that will work. I'm eager to try anything. So as you can see, I'm putting the rough iron over everywhere that I want metal. Well, as you can see, if I keep the flipping model in camera shot, oh dear. So I'm going through all the underparts of the armour, anywhere that I think will be metal, because these are not human players. They're not organic life forms that are in this armour. These are robots. And before we go too far into the video, well, we're over halfway through, but yeah, I would like to thank Ian Cleverdon once more for giving me permission to use his music for my videos. This is from his latest album, all the details of which will be in the description. So if you enjoyed this music, then please follow the link in the website to his site, and it is available to buy. Now we're going into white. This is Vallejo Urquhart white. And we're going over all the areas, basically highlighting the Spaceship Exterior. So any areas that we think are going to be hit by light are going to be hit by this white paint. Unfortunately, you can't see what I'm doing because, again, I can't line up the camera properly. But I'm going to go over, as I say, most of the armour with this. Not all of the armour, because I still want to have some areas that are slightly darker. And once I've got all the minis done, I will be going back and picking out some of the edges and the recesses again with a little bit of a more what's the word I'm looking for? More precise wash. So just to darken up some areas and light, and keep other areas quite light. But yeah, I will be doing that once all the minis are done. I'm not doing it in these videos. I will do once all these minis are done. I will do one video showing how I do this. This step. How I do that step of the process. It's just picking out any recesses, any areas between the Spaceship Exterior and the white that I want a little bit darker, just to show a difference between the two stages, or the two shades. And as you may have noticed, I'm not really doing too much of a detailed job on these minis. The detail, unfortunately, isn't as crisp as I would hope it, as I would have liked it to be. When it's undercut, when it's been primed, the detail hasn't shown up as well as it looked when it was bare plastic. So, unfortunately, we have that issue to deal with. Now we're going over to plate mail metal, and we're going over the rough iron parts with this, just to highlight it a little. I'm just hoping the Indige team is a bit more of a crisper sculpt, or crisper models, and the details are a lot finer in it. But I'm happy with the way it is. It gives me an excuse to practice painting white, if nothing else. So now we're just touching on all of those areas that I painted in the rough iron, just to that's what I'm looking for, just to make it a little bit brighter. And now we're on to the red. This is pure red from my painter, and this is the part where we need a steady hand, because we're going to be freehanding the red V that goes on the front of each of the models. We don't have too long to go in this video, so it's just a case now of trying to get this V looking right. And we're also painting these areas on the shoulder pads as well. If only I could keep this in camera shot. I will learn. You know, I've only been doing this a few years now. Eventually, at some point, I will get the idea that I'll be able to film things only if it's in front of the camera and lens. But this is about all there is for this video. If we need to do anything else, it's just touching up, making it look a little bit neater, which we'll be doing now with some of the, I'm not sure whether this is white or the Spaceship Exterior. I think it's the white, but the rest of it is just a case of, so once we've painted everything here, it's just then a case of painting the base. It looks as though it's on decent enough, so let's get some black on the go and paint the entire base, and that's all we have left to do. So I will leave you watching me paint the base. So take care, God bless, and bye for now. Stay safe, I'll see you next time.